vital and critical. Now, so what kind of project management information system do you use in order to gather and control all this kind of information? Something comes commercially available? Do you tailor something as needed? How do you go about it?
Yeah, please, John, yeah, that's for you. This gentleman here is asking about what sort of project management information system are you using within your project? And is it a custom-made or is it off-the-shelf kind of product?
Yeah, a combination of both, basically. You know, we'll be using through the different elements, particularly on the controls. There'll be generally proprietary products that are brought to the project by the various practitioners. They could be a Bechtel or a Fluor. At the sort of hub level or these Galaxy centres, we bring this all together and usually purpose-built. There's no real proprietary product other than database manipulation and rolling up. Scheduling, we'd use Primavera, these type of proprietary, but in terms of all the other stuff, we're generally purpose-built. All of the stakeholders will have their regiment of types of reports, how they want that. So we tend to use standardised, custom-built KPI reporting through at the lower level, often proprietary products by the practitioners, and then roll them up, and then we can dice and slice depending on what the stakeholders want. So like the lenders will want quarter reports in a certain fashion around the world, and jurisdictions govern that. So you've really got to custom build it, but have a common set of data that's rolling up from the proprietary sort of system or databases or what have you up into these custom built standardized KPIs, reporting structures, and then we can dice and slice depending on what the various stakeholders require. And you know, we use professionals for doing that, so we have a variety of professionals, whether they be for the media releases, the spin doctors as they say, so we'll use them to produce those dice and slice, financial people to take it and dice and slice for the financial people, the government reports, you know, and an auditor general might need a certain report. So in a nutshell, at the lower level, a lot of standardisation and different proprietary products from, you know, Bechtel use Cocoa and Fluor use one, and all the other practitioners use different ones. The EPCM contractors have them. But make sure that they all, in addition to those, they standardising the templates that we need as they come at say, level 2. Or even higher on Galaxy projects. Then we just start to dice and slice depending on what all the stakeholder requirements are.
Thank you, John. Next question.
Hi.
Can you please stand up?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My name is Abuzar, and I have a question with regards to benefits realization, which Dr. Crawford and Claudia both touched upon, and very rightly, as Dr. Crawford mentioned, it's one of the most difficult areas. I was wondering if either of you could share some insight on what strategy or you know, what methods that you have used or implemented that has made it a success in terms of measuring the benefits when you come to the tail end of the projects.
Excellent question, thank you.
One of the techniques that I've seen organizations use is getting to the point where the project objective is a single statement and it is a single benefit statement. So and it's really getting to the point of the project. It's really about what is the business result or the organizational result that has to be put into place. And if they can get clear about that is the single objective of the project, say it is a 1% increase in revenue, a 2% decrease in costs, whatever it is, and how that project is going to contribute, getting clear about that as being the project objective, and then being able to lay out the benefits against what portions of this project, what incremental benefits will be delivered by each piece of the project as it's going through its delivery process. And then tying those incremental benefits, delivery points to the actual benefits, and being able to lay it out like that allows them then to keep very, very clear track about when am I going to get this benefit, what does it look like, how's it going to be delivered.
Thank you, Claudia. Next question, please.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Nas Salah from Duke. Question to Claudia. Benefit realization, whenever we're capturing the value, I think it's the next generation mentioned, the benefits of the long-term achievements. So I think one of the challenges for project managers or program managers how to capture those benefits in the short term. Is there any best practice approach you guys are aware about it that capturing benefits in the short term instead of the long term that may go for several reasons?
There are, first off, the program standard version 3 that has been put out recently by the Project Management Institute. Probably you should spend a little bit of time looking at what they're talking about from benefits realization in that publication. You also probably want to take a look at managing successful programs out of the OGC to see what their approach has been. But really the fundamentals of benefits realization is understanding the point of the project, being able to tie the benefits to the point of the project, making sure that you've got the strategic alignment put into place around those benefits, and then talking about a benefits realization plan. What does this look like? How am I going to observe it? How am I going to measure it? What is the timing associated with it? And exactly laying it out step by step so that you understand exactly what does it look like and how will I tell whether this benefit actually is being realized or not. Hopefully that was helpful. Okay.
Thank you, Claudia. There is a question there, one question here, one question here. I'm sorry, I will not be able to take your question because that's all we can take. Yes. Next question, please.
Is it me? Hi. Hi, this is Nadine Samra. I'm the Digital Operations Manager for NBC Group. Probably I'm the only person coming from media here in this forum. My question to you, Claudia, is regarding the strategy execution when you talked about it. And there should be a consensus on the projects and project prioritization basically to be executed. Don't you think that there is a natural conflict between the internal projects, which are normally IT projects, maintenance, upgrades, and the actual projects which get benefits to the company in terms of money? How would you handle that?
I've seen different organizations doing it different ways, where sometimes they'll actually create just small pots of money for the maintenance. Other organizations have been a lot more sophisticated about how they build their portfolio scoring models, so that the score for external projects could be very, very significant, but those internal projects that are positioning in order to be able to get to the revenues or whatever, they have gotten so good at building their scoring models that some weight is applied to those maintenance projects in order to be able to get them done so that we can get the platforms built in order to be able to get the bigger projects done. Sometimes organizations are going after a program management perspective and doing the scoring and the prioritization at the program level, so those maintenance projects that have to be done in order to support the organization are automatically picked up by the program's overall objectives and the prioritization of the program.
Okay.
Question. Hello. My question goes to Dr. Crawford. You shared the concept that project governance is a subset of corporate governance. And concepts like accountability structure, concept of role clarity, if it is not sufficiently mature in the rest of the organization, can the project management office lead this initiative? Can it survive if the rest of the organization does not have clear-cut structure or even value definitions? Can it survive within the project management context, or can it lead the rest of the organization?
Yes, because sometimes that is essential, and in a lot of contracting organisations, for instance, the corporate governance may not be as good as a contracting organisation contributing, for instance, to a public-private partnership. That public-private partnership, alliance, whatever it may be bigger, probably will be a lot bigger than the constituent organisation. So the resources that are contributing, usually under contract, and that's why I think it's one of the interesting things about project governance, is that it is, and I mentioned that, it is often it is often governed by the contract. So the governance framework for the specific project is often provided by the nature of the contract. But in every case, it has to satisfy the corporate governance requirements of all of the constituent organisations.
we try to assessment the PM for maturity and time to maturity. How we can govern? Is it necessary that we assessment the project governance and try to improve the project governance maturity? And if the question, if your answer is yes, please tell me how OPM3 products or how OPM3 cover this request.
Sure. Governance, it has become so critical in the industry. The organizational project management maturity model, the standards team that works on that maturity model, reaches out to the worldwide community to say what is best practice, what is best in class behavior. And the addition of governance as one of the major organizational enabling subcategories was added this year in this version. And finally, I think we're recognizing that strict governance, tight governance, makes such a difference for organizations. And we do have best practices now that have been garnered from all of our colleagues around the world to say how governance is put into place and those best practices around how strict should we be, how tight should we be in order to make sure that we are making the right decisions around our projects. So yes, we are really starting to see that throughout the industry.
Last question from this gentleman here.
Just a question about the statistics that you mentioned in the presentation. It's only 25% of the projects succeeding as a given statistics. This is in project management measures for the other than these projects still have value, still have benefits that they deliver. How to make balance between the failure in project management and the value itself, which the project is delivering?
Okay. I think probably back to portfolio management and being able to evaluate, select, and prioritize, and going through the process of understanding what is your scoring model so that you understand the cost of the project versus the benefits of the project, and then being able to evaluate the projects against the scoring model, to score them, and then to decide on what is your prioritization model. And between your scoring model and your prioritization model should give you some clear indications about what's the most value. You know, most portfolio managers are not just turning over one portfolio to their leadership. They're giving them different scenarios to say, if we go this way with these types of projects at this type of value, at this type of cost, and this type of resourcing, this is what you will be able to gain from a value perspective. And then we do the exact same thing with different scenarios so that our leadership can make decisions about what is the best value for their investment dollar so they know exactly what they're going to be delivering back to their organization or their community.
Thank you, Claudia. Many thanks to the speaker for a very interesting session. Many thanks to you, the audience, for sharing with us. Please don't forget to join us for the opening ceremony. Exactly, we will start at 12, so please be seated before 12. We have VIP guests coming in the opening ceremony. We have two very interesting speakers in the opening ceremony. One is Brian Moorhead from NASA, and the other one is Donald Trump Jr. So we promise you a very interesting opening ceremony. Thank you all.